Hello there, and welcome to a special edition of Club PlayStation. This is perhaps the most special edition for especially Dan here, and even myself, as I've grown to love and adore this game called The Last of Us. So, right at the start, please do not listen, please do not watch this if you have not played Last of Us and finished it. I would feel horrible if you ruined this wonderful game that the story actually matters, which is kind of rare in video game entertainment in my mind. But
Yep.
the story is amazing. This is almost
Even if you're an Xbox gamer.
absolutely. Even if you're an Xbox gamer, I avoided the spoilers when this came out last year, and I was only on Nintendo because I knew at some point maybe I might play this. And if that's you, you're maybe. Do not.
Plus, the PS3 is getting much older. Even if you don't want to pick up the PS4 version, the PS3 is getting much older.
Yes.
And you will eventually find them in the trash can, like I found my PS2. And I'm not lying. I found my PS2 in the trash can.
That
That's
is
how easy it
hilarious.
was. And it works perfectly fine, so that might happen to you. You'll
You
get
get
a
a Slim
PS3.
or an original in the trash.
I mean, this game is so important to me. I mean, I know a certain Xbox gamer who's watching this, and I want him to turn it off right now. But anyways,
Yeah, do not spoil this game. On my
Yeah.
lower third right now, I have spoilers in big bold. I'm going to turn that off pretty soon, so it'll be annoying for the whole show. But
I love this game so much. This game has touched me so much. Not only did I double dip for the PS4 version,
Dan has like 20 copies of the game, just saying.
I got all four collector's editions, and I have a let people borrow copy. People I know.
Really?
Usually I'm anal about borrowing copies because I'm like, support the company, play the game. But the game is so good, I don't care what you do, you just need to play this game. So I actually bought a copy just to let people borrow it.
Wow.
Just because
It's
who
great
are saying,
'cause
oh, I'll
you-
get it eventually because I got bills right now. I'm like, fine, I'll let you borrow one of my 12 copies. Just play the game. It's that
You
good.
do have like 12 copies. It seems like you could have loaned out, just the disc out of the 12.
This game is that good, and if you're going to spoil it for yourself like that, I feel bad for you.
Don't do it. So
Don't do it.
fair warning. Shut
you-
this off if you have not played the game.
Yes. Yeah, do not leave now if you... I'm done.
This is suicide for your entertainment and
Yeah,
your
yes.
life.
This is like probably in a video game. Has one of the best stories. I don't
Yes.
care what.
This has better stories than most movies that are like from Michael Bay and other.
Oh my
Crappy
God, Michael Bay!
directors.
Don't even get me on that. I need to be in club film sometime because I got a Michael Bay rant. But
Oh yeah, but this has better stories than a lot of the movies out there. And probably better than much better than World War Z, I'd say, which is a comparable genre, if you want to put it that way.
actually, I don't know why I just agreed that I had never seen World War Z.
Yeah,
But,
I watched it over the weekend just to refresh myself, and it's really good, but it doesn't have this awesome relationship that gets explored in this game.
Yeah, people. Yeah. I don't really care who you are. Xbox gamers, PC gamers, Nintendo gamers, just checking out because you think, oh, I will never play the game. Turn it off. Even if you're a PlayStation gamer who hasn't picked it up yet.
You know, a lot of stores have 14-day return policies. You could get a PS4, play it, and return it within 14 days, if you're so apt to do that.
Yeah, do that. But I'm convinced after they play it, they'll keep their PS4.
Oh, yeah,
because
they'll
because
wanna
of
keep
Naughty
playing
Dog,
it.
and then
Yeah.
they'll want to play Uncharted. So who knows? They'll pick up a PlayStation. Who
Yeah.
knows?
But anyways, I think that's enough warning, and I'll turn off.
Yeah,
my
we
lower
warned
third.
we warned you.
So fair warning, and we're going
Don't
to
be
get into
stupid.
this. I've got extensive notes, and this is going to be quite the show. So, how do you want to start? I want to go through the story, of course. I want to go through the characters and weapons and mechanics and stuff. Where do you feel is a good starting place?
Well, maybe we should start off with the whole concept of how Joel is a survivor. He lived in both worlds, and Ellie was born into this new post-pandemic world.
So the game opens as a prologue, and I didn't really realize it's a prologue. I thought perhaps, hey, this looks similar to World War Z as far as crazy stuff is happening, and you quickly realize there's this disease, and there's hospitals fighting this disease a little bit, as you get from the newspaper clippings. and but yeah, so Joel definitely has. By this time in his life, he's probably what 30? Is that about right? About 30?
I would think so. He looks like he's in his late 20s. I don't know Joel's age.
Yeah, I mean, he has a 14-year-old daughter, probably, right? They're 11 to 14.
I believe so. I believe she's the same age as Ellie, which is
Yeah,
the
that would
main
make sense.
character.
Yeah.
Um,
So 30 would be reasonable, even maybe 35. You never know. But yeah, so it opens when he's a bit younger, and it opens with a fun scene of just Sarah on the couch, waiting for her dad to get home, and Joel comes home on the phone with Tommy about some contract work he's doing. I guess he's in construction. Is that about right?
yeah, that's what it seems. Um, Actually, I don't really know. It says he's the contractor. That doesn't mean construction exactly. That could mean anything. So we don't know what Joel does for a living.
Yeah.
Actually, I mean, actually, it wouldn't surprise me. This game is crazy with what it teaches you. Each playthrough, it teaches me something new about the game. Just checking out the artifacts, certain optional conversations, certain things in the houses and everything. It wouldn't surprise me if in Joel's house, which is where the game begins,
Yep.
if it tells you what he does for a living. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
It's this game is ridiculous with all the stuff it tells you just from exploring the environments and the artifacts you find. It adds so much depth to the story.
Yeah,
So
the story is not just in the cutscenes. It's in the dialogue as you're playing the game. It's in the artifacts, the comics you find.
it's in the gameplay.
It's in everything, yeah.
The story is in the gameplay. I mean,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
But
That's why it's so hard for them to make the movie because
they do an exceptional. Well, it'll be. I'm not sure how they'll do the movie. It'll be good. I'm sure of that. It'll be a great movie. But this opening scene, this opening prologue, they do a great job of getting you really attached to Sarah really quickly, and making her death feel hard and sad. Like most deaths that would happen that quick, I would not care. But in this one, I was crying and just I fell apart at the end of that opening.
Oh yeah, you see, I was so hyped for this game when it first came out. Um, it's crazy. When I first played this game when it first came out, I was so hyped for it. I just knew. I was just like, okay, Naughty Dog, surprise me because I'm already a Jack and Daxter and
Well,
Uncharted
we
fan.
knew.
So-
I at least knew. Like, this girl's dead. Ellie's on the cover. There's no Sarah. But even with that,
Yeah, it was
know,
pretty obvious. We
yeah.
knew that's what they wanted. We knew, and it still hit us.
it still hit us.
I think
That's
they
the
were
thing,
aiming
yeah.
for that. It
That's
still
the
hit
thing,
us.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a good thing to start it off with. It just shows Joel's past. I
It's
feel
such a foreboding nature. It's like, oh my god, I'm playing.
I feel the game is
her
more.
to her death.
Yep. I feel the game is more about Joel, and the DLC is more about Ellie. Which we'll do a spoiler cast for the
Separately,
DLC later.
Yeah. So I've not played that yet. I've tried to. I did not. I purposely did not play that. So you could watch this and not be spoiled with Left Behind. So kind of keep.
Yeah, and we'll do that one later. I played Left Behind, but I'm not going to spoil it.
Yes, I'm looking
So-
forward to it. So that's a whole other
That'll be
story I
fun.
get to experience. This is good stuff.
Oh yeah. That one's way shorter, but it's still amazing. The
Yeah.
best DLC I've ever played. You'll never play any game like Left Behind. Like I've said in Club PlayStation, you'll never play a game like Left Behind. And you don't even know what kind of game you're getting yourself into, Tim. If I try to
Imagine
explain
it's
it
similar to The Last of Us.
as a consumer, Tim, if you're just a blind consumer,
Yeah.
just like what's this game about? I try to explain it to you, you would not buy it.
Probably
but-
similar to The Last of Us, right?
Well, it's really hard to explain. You got to play it, Tim.
Okay, I'll play it. I'll
It's
play it.
crazy. But
my
I just got to
my
simply
next
say,
weekend, I'll be playing this probably. Yeah.
actually, I love how they don't let you play Left Behind without The Last of Us because that would ruin it for so many people if they did.
They let you play Left Behind in the.
Oh yeah. I mean, you can buy. You need to own Last of Us though. You can't
Oh.
buy it separately like Blood Dragon or
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
First Light, Infamous.
Yeah, but let's get back on
standalone
track.
DLC. So
The house is really a spectacular place to just explore. The ability to just look through these rooms and just see this very basic family life that was kind of set up here. You see, Joel's guitar there, which is hinted about later about him singing and stuff. You kind of get this sense of a world, very much
Yep.
so.
So, but I actually want to say, for anyone who's actually watching this on the Google Hangout, if you post comments, we will interact with you if you've played the game, obviously, and you have some certain concerns if you'd like.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know who's watching this because I don't have that window open, but
Yep,
is anyone watching this live, we will interact with you.
absolutely. So, I, I love how when you're playing as Sarah, she wakes up and she's kind of sleepwalking. And not sleepwalking, but kind of...
Oh yeah, she doesn't know what's going on. She just, everything's normal, and then
Phone
she hears her Uncle Tommy, Joel's brother, which you meet later in the game.
Yeah, that is something, as I'm playing my second playthrough now, it's amazing. It's like, oh, I know who that is now, and all these other things that you pick up on.
Oh, well, I remember him from my first playthrough, because I just remembered that was his brother. His brother was Tommy, and I remember talking about him. Yep.
More of a connection.
My first playthrough when Marlene, the leader of the Fireflies, which we'll get more into the Fireflies in a little bit, said, he was a good man, your brother Tommy. I assumed the way we were talking about him, he was dead by that point. I thought Tommy was dead. But then as the story goes on,
you just let the Fireflies.
You need to bring her to Tommy's.
Yeah, so she was just referring to you as a good man.
Because, obviously, because he used to be in the Fireflies, and they're trying to bring Ellie because,
Totally.
Because Ellie is the cure to mankind.
Evidently.
So according to the story.
I love, in the house, how you're watching the news, and the explosions are simultaneous, and wow, stuff's going down here. And it's weird to me that, I guess not weird to me, but I wish there was an option for me to just go back to bed and fall asleep, let this pass by.
Yeah, well, as the game is as you walk down the stairs, too, tons of police cars go by the window, which I thought was really cool how they did that. When I first played it, I was just like, wow, this is actually kind of awesome.
Yeah.
I felt like the world was more was believable because because The Last of Us pretty much for the last generation did something that barely any games did, and it was amazing. Just the way. You don't feel like you're playing a video game. You don't feel like you're just playing a video game because you're bored when you're playing The Last of Us. You're playing it because you're in the world. You're experiencing it. You want to find out what happens to Joel and Ellie next.
It's a game I can't play on my surround
for the
sound
characters.
system. I need to play on my headset because it's more immersive.
I can't get that thing up. I can't get this thing working, Tim.
You just don't know anything.
We gotta do this later. You gotta help me get this thing working so I can do another playthrough.
Pretty simple. I'll teach you about it later. But it's a game I can't be listening to podcasts or anything else while doing. It's very rare in that where I tried to do it once on my second playthrough. It's like, no, I can't do this because it's not right. It distracts me way too much because I'm trying to hear every noise and every sound and every dialogue that's happening.
Oh yeah, definitely. I just love when I know a guy who was complaining about this on Twitter, but the dialogue. When you're walking through hallways or something, they still continue talking.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so much story to it, with the artifacts, the optional conversations.
Fantastic.
Just things that Ellie says out in the open if you're in certain areas looting
like the
for
music
things.
Room where it's there's
the part where she's trying to learn how to whistle, and then later on she's like, yes, I figured it out. Small things like that, all small pieces of the puzzle. Once you analyze it for yourself, all these small pieces of the puzzle create the whole story. It's very awesome and philosophical.
I love when Ellie is humming and being a kid, kind of
Oh yeah, it's great. Ashley Johnson did a great job as Ellie. A lot of people say oh that's Ellen Page, that's Ellen Page. I'm like, shut up. I'm just like. It's not Ellen Page.
They did model her body after Ellen Page.
Okay, yeah, she may look like Ellen Page, but it's not played by Ellen Page.
I feel that was kind of intentional.
Who knows? Probably it.
You sell more copies.
Probably it is. Who knows? But Ashley Johnson did a great job as Ellie.
Totally.
And people said that Ellen Page should play Ellie. I'm like, shut up. Ellie's fine the way she is.
In the movie, I don't know. That could work. but that's not who they
They're
chose.
looking at the Games of Thrones girl
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Ellie.
But anyways, let's progress. We're still in the prologue, so I don't want this to be a 20-hour show. This will
Okay.
be as long as the game takes to play.
You can just listen to us talk instead of playing the game,
Yeah.
and eventually you'll just love Club PlayStation that much because you're gonna get attached to me and Tim like that. Because
Yeah.
I don't know, that
Yeah.
actually sounds creepy.
That's very creepy.
This podcast
But,
is about mine and Tim's relationship, like the game.
No, that won't happen. We're just gonna talk. Just gonna talk. Because, yeah.
He's like, okay, let's change the topic, Dan. You're taking
Okay,
it too
they
far.
get in the car, and you're in the back seat. And I love that when you change where you're at, you're actually moving in.
Oh yeah,
the
you
back
can see
seat.
you can see the environment, and Joel and Tommy are talking like, oh, they don't know what's wrong, something about some parasite or something.
And you're not just turning your head; you're actually moving your body as you would as a freaked out little kid. You're moving from side to side in the car, and you know, Sarah's asking questions like, "What wasn't this person in the city? Doesn't that mean he must be infected?" Kind of thing.
Oh yeah, the neighbor Jimmy. Yeah, I remember. Basically, he worked in the city. We're fine. They says it's just in the city. Well, didn't Jimmy work in the city? Yes, he did.
Mm-hmm.
So he got it, and
Do we ever meet
you know,
Jimmy?
well, he's the first guy that Joel shoots when he knocks down his window.
Oh.
That's Jimmy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The first infected that Joel shoots in the
There you go.
cinematic. That's Jimmy.
So yeah, we get to a point of a traffic jam, and then all hell breaks loose. All hell breaks loose. So there's a crash, and then basically from this on, we're basically running. And the first time I played this game, I didn't know where this alley was. He was telling me to go, and I was trying to find the alley, and I got killed. That happened to me my first time. I since now know where to go, and I will say this game is very friendly. If you get killed, it's very friendly about putting you back at a place that doesn't frustrate you that you have to play over like.
Oh yeah, it just gets you at the most recent checkpoint.
Which is great. Yeah.
Which because if it was ridiculous, we had to go back super far. A lot of people wouldn't finish it.
I would probably not have finished it.
Because it gets really frustrating sometimes. Because
Yeah, you get like
later
20
on,
kills. It's like I can't get
later
past
on,
this
you
part.
got to figure out how to take out all of these guys who are trying to kill you, or just infected in general. It just gets
I will
crazy.
say, progression-wise, it feels like the game is much easier the second half when you have a better arsenal of supplies, and secondly, you have more tools in the tool belt. You have a better understanding of the mechanics. Like it feels like the second half is a lot easier than the first half. That's probably on purpose because
Well, I feel because you learned how to play the game by then.
Yeah,
And you've been doing it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Personally,
game again.
I personally like summer better than fall, winter, and spring. I like summer better.
The first part of the game, like the first part of the game, the best.
Yep.
I disagree.
I
from
like
the
summer.
standpoint of
A lot of people disagree with that. They like the other half
Well-
because it shows Joel's and Ellie's relationship. a
yeah,
lot
that's
better.
why it's more of my favorite because it's like I want to get to the good stuff. It's like,
Well, I think
the
I think
plot
it's
is,
I
you know,
think it's
going-
all important. It's all important. I think the whole game is important. That's just how I feel. with
But
the
there's nothing more
relationship.
satisfying, Dan, than getting a flamethrower and just letting loose on a whole bunch of.
Oh yeah,
infections.
gameplay wise, it's great. You get that thing in fall. I mean, they give it right to you before in a big infected room where you have to kill all these infected. Use this generator. It's great. I always
And
felt that
using
area
it to kill the
personally.
bloaters, that flamethrower, it's like, man, I have a weapon I can fight against this disgusting infected.
Oh my god! I hate the bloaters. They're so. Ugh.
They're just
That noise they make.
they're-
Noise they make. It's
Now-
so gross. Oh,
Now,
my
we're skipping ahead a
God.
little bit, but one thing I have a problem with is Ellie, who cannot get hurt by breathing in these toxic fumes, gets hurt when you're playing as her when you breathe in the bloater's fumes. That does not make sense from what we know about her being able to walk around in these infected areas in the cloudy rooms, you know.
Yeah, then again, I'm sure Naughty Dog would respond saying the bloater spores are different or something.
That's a cop-out.
Honestly,
Or do you agree with me, or do you
Aren't
think?
you aren't
Yeah.
you a little more concerned why the hell a bloater's a thing? Like that's a human being. That's a human being with a disease, Tim. A bloater is a human being. That's disgusting. To think that's a
It's like,
fungus all over the face like a
well, I
clicker.
mean, if
Fungus
he,
all over the
he
body.
just had a bad pimple
Huge.
day.
He's friggin' throwing like spores at your face. Aren't you more
Yeah.
concerned on that's a
He's-
disease in the world?
I mean,
Like instead of
he's just
that
had a
doesn't
bad
make sense.
day, you know.
Oh
He
man,
woke
it's
up
so.
with he ate too many pizzas with his face in the grease. I'd say.
Well, I wouldn't explain why he had fungus on his face, but okay.
Well, he had mushrooms. As
It
well.
doesn't explain how their teeth are sharp either.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how their teeth change, but
And to bring it to World War Z a little bit, it's interesting. North Korea, to stop spread of the infection, they within 24 hours had the entire country get their teeth removed as a precaution to stop spread, which would have been smart in this world if they did that.
I see. That's very interesting,
Because
actually.
in North Korea, you could do that because you're such a dictator. with land, I mean,
You can do anything if you're in charge in North
yeah.
Korea.
In Israel, they just make a big wall and stop anybody from getting in. So that helped. But anyways, back to The Last of Us.
So the alley.
Yeah. You're in the alley and
You run.
You're running towards freedom. You're running towards out of this craziness. You see this military guy that should be helping you out, getting you to freedom.
Yeah, he shoots. He shoots the infected for you who are chasing
Yeah,
you.
he shoot and yeah, he shoots
And
the
then-
infected that are chasing you really close behind, and
He tells you not to move.
tells you not
So
to
you know
move.
you're sitting there thinking, okay, good, we're safe for now. This guy from the government is going to help us, and then all of a sudden he's getting orders. He's like, "But sir, there's a little girl." I'm like,
And
"Oh."
he doesn't want to do what he's told to do.
I know. He's like, "But sir, there's a little girl," and then I hear, and I'm just thinking, "Uh-oh, I know what's going to happen."
Yeah.
He points the gun at him, fires. I'm just like, "What the hell?" And then he goes over to Joel. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? And all of a sudden, you see him get shot in the head. I'm like, yeah, Tommy, yeah.
But like
Tommy-
the reason this is so heartbreaking is like it's not just because she gets killed, she gets hit. It's because not only did she get hit, but she got hit by someone that didn't actually want to do it in the first place. Like it's heart wrenching that she gets hit when Joel starts to back away like that, and you get a moment with Sarah, Joel and Sarah, and wow, how can you not cry in that moment?
I just love how easy it is for Tommy just to casually shoot that guy in the head.
Well, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. I mean,
He just did it. Like, I mean, this isn't like after. This is like still. This isn't even like after the infection has spread
if
for
you
a long
shoot at
time.
your brother,
and
I'm
you're
gonna
used
shoot
to
that
it.
guy in the head. Why not?
He's just like you just see him get shot in the head. You just see Tommy put the gun away. Like he's like, oh my god. He's not even like, oh my god, I just murdered someone. Well, he is from Texas, so.
It's an intense moment. I mean, and then, yeah, she dies, and you're transported to the credits, which were really well done.
The opening credits.
Opening
not
credits.
the not the ending credits.
That'd be one way to end the movie, the game. But the opening credits are done really well. I guess all of the fungus in there are actually real fungus. They record over several days, and some really cool stuff if you listen to the commentary. But
I thought that was really cool. And then just like listening to everything in there, there's a lot of important messages in there about the story. About they're trying to fight the infection. Quarantine zones happen.
Yeah, it's similar
A
to
group of yep.
similar to how Dawn of the Planet of the Apes has their opening credits of explaining some stuff that happens in the in between.
Yeah, the mayor's talking about all this infection is getting ridiculous, and then they're talking about quarantine zones on the news. The news is still going on. That's where things were wrong. The news was still going on. Like, everyone was moving on with their lives, like, thinking it was like swine flu and it'd go away eventually. But,
That's why it became so bad. They didn't get their teeth yanked,
I mean, like, they acted like, okay, this will be gone in, like, a year. That's what they probably thought. Then eventually these quarantine zones were happening. Tons of people were dying.
I wonder if there's, like, paradises still in the world, like, islands that didn't get this disease, or how widespread this is. Like, did Hawaii get this disease? Did Australia get it? Like, which parts of the world were safe still?
They don't even go into that. They actually don't
They
even
say the
reference.
West Coast is, like, in the car.
They
mention-
never even reference anywhere out of the country, Tim.
they mention the United States alone. Like, they mention in that car when they're talking, oh, yeah, this is happening in the West Coast as well. That's mentioned, but that's about it.
Yeah, yeah. They don't even mention any other country besides the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
through the whole thing,
No, they don't.
which I
But,
find really weird. Obviously, you think in Mexico it would happen, and I don't. I
well,
would feel it
Mexico's
happen
connected
in
to the
Europe.
U.S. I mean,
I'd feel it would happen in Europe too. I'd feel it just happen all over the world.
sure.
I don't think this would be an exclusive U.S. thing.
No.
So I'm pretty sure it hit everywhere, but they never once referenced it hitting anywhere else in the world.
Do you
But
think
imagine,
this,
imagine like in
yeah,
The Last of Us 2, if you could go like through Europe or something.
that'd be crazy.
Like,
Africa?
or go through Africa. What the hell?
Do you think this fungus was a man-made creation? Is in a lab, kind of like in the Rise of the Planet of the Apes kind of thing? Could that
I
be
don't
a
know.
possibility?
It could have been like some accidental science experiment.
Yeah, that's
They're,
like they were testing on monkeys and it spread to humans or something.
well, who knows exactly? I was just really more into the whole opening credits. Like, you know, they were talking about the Fireflies, which, you know, which I feel obviously are the fire. What do you think? Do you think the Fireflies are good guys or bad guys? Because
Their intentions.
the ending twists your opinions a little bit.
Their
'cause you like
intentions,
Joel.
I think, are pure. They want the world to go back to how it was before all this craziness happened, right?
Yep.
I mean, their intentions are pure. I don't think. I mean, all humans have faults, so I think there's many faulty ideas and notions in the Fireflies, but their intentions are pure. Versus the Hunters, which their intentions are not good. In the military, their intentions are generally pretty good.
Well,
but
if you watch the interviews, they say there is no bad guy. The infected are technically victims. They don't know what they're doing. Joel and Ellie are trying to survive. The Hunters are doing what they can to survive.
It's a man world out there, you know.
The bandits are. Yep. You learn tons of different perspectives of how people survive. Like, you meet Tommy's colony later on. You meet David and that psychopath, pedophile, creepy.
We'll get into that in a little bit, yeah. So yeah, this world comprises of Fireflies, Hunters, Survivors, Infected, and Military. Is there anybody I'm leaving out?
In terms of enemies, there's military, infected, bandits, hunters, and, you know, David's town, like David's people, and then you got Bill, who is on his own, who basically is that extremist guy which Bill is awesome.
The military I kind of hate in this game because, man, they suck. They killed Sarah. They shoot at you just because you're trying to walk around in this world. Like, I want to go there. I want to go on a hike, and they're shooting at me.
Yeah.
It's like,
live free or die. Screw that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, this didn't happen in New Hampshire, but I'm sure it's the same.
Well, it was close. It was Boston, man.
At Boston.
It's pretty close.
Boston. The game starts out in Boston. You're in the Boston quarantine zone. We should probably skip to where Joel is at this point and how Joel is surviving.
He
Joel's
feels
still
like
alive,
he's
obviously.
drunk, but he's not.
Oh yeah, Joel is a professional smuggler with his partner Tess. They do it for rations. This is how they survive.
Very detached from life at this point, though. You can tell he's just never got over his daughter's death.
Yeah, he's just surviving. That's basically, that's basically it. You know, he's doing what he can, and all of a sudden, it says 20 years later after this big, and you get to see Joel. He's obviously much older.
Gray hair, all that.
He's been dealing with it for a while.
In shape, man.
He wasn't like crying about it still.
Yeah,
but,
I guess it's hard to get fat though if you just are living off ration cards.
Yeah, he's pretty good shape, and then
unless you're Bill, of course.
Oh yeah, Bill has everything.
I love that. He's still fat.
I love how Bill.
Some people, even without food, they can still be fat because
Yeah, I actually knew this girl
chemical.
who actually had a disease where she was just naturally fat.
It's all
So.
chemistry and stuff. Some people are just cursed like that,
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm cursed with this acne. It just happens. I even tried quitting drinking soda, and scrubbing my face like a million times a day with alcohol.
You just eat like fruits and veggies and
Oh yeah,
processed
no, yeah. I
foods.
still had it. Still had it, Tim.
Yeah, that's
Not as
quite the
bad, but
curse.
still had
Yeah.
it. It's just kind of it's a shame, but
Yeah,
some people are
tests,
just cursed with certain things.
they are. Like, they're cursed
Just
and
like how they're
infected.
cursed with infected. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So Tess and Joel's relationship, it's a business one. There is
Would
hints
you
at...
would you say they're in a relationship?
It's a complicated one, because they hint at, oh, I'm the romantic type, and there's, like, one-liners like that. But, you never see them kiss. You never see them... They're basically business people that are friends, very much so. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but I'm pretty sure they're in a relationship.
yeah, I'd
I'm
say
pretty
so.
sure they were. I mean, honestly,
And Bill's
it's pretty
comments, like Bill's
obvious.
comments as well. It's like she's got you on a pretty tight leash or something like that.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Bill's being an ass about the whole test thing, and Joel's trying to hold back because of what happens to Tess. Which we should probably move on to that. Basically,
yeah, we go through the
Joel and
quarantine.
Tess.
Yeah, they're basically trying to
They're,
hunt on Robert, right?
yep, they're hunting down Robert, who is an associate of theirs, who is betraying them, owes them guns, but he's trying to kill him with his men. So, which Tess walks in at the opening scene, and I got jumped by these two assholes, and then he's just like, "Are these assholes still with us?" And she's like, "Oh, that's funny." And then it's like, it doesn't matter. What matters is Robert sent them. He's like, "Oh, yeah, he's trying to get us before we get him." And then Joel's all pissed off about it, but Tess knows where he's hiding, so I'm assuming when Tess killed those guys, she tortured them until they told him, "Where's Robert hiding?"
Mm-hmm.
Then she killed them, obviously, because that's obviously how they do things in this world. So, um,
Oh yeah, definitely.
so basically, they go down to hunt down Robert, and like I said, like me and Tim were saying, first thing you'll notice is tons of things you can explore. You don't have to move on right away. You can
You can
explore.
talk to the lovely military, and if you talk to them twice, they'll shoot you in the head.
Oh yeah, you get to explore like what's going on. There's an optional conversations. There's just just some artifacts.
Hmm.
It's crazy. Like you
There's a
can just
ration line. They haven't opened up
yep.
yet.
You could just look around just to see
I
what a
kind of
quarantine
wish
zone is like,
I
because they reference quarantine zones a lot.
they
You
do.
visit if you visit a few abandoned quarantine zones in the game.
Yeah, and this one you get to see as it is actually open.
One of the last quarantine zones are still running.
Yeah. I kind of
So
wish the ration line was open and you could go through that line and redeem a ration card and just, like, have a meal or something.
what would be the point in that, Tim?
Just to see what kind of food you get, you know? Get some
Okay.
rats and some, eat a rat
Okay,
soup.
Tim.
I don't know.
That seems super important.
It seems like that'd be cool. Just saying.
I mean, I don't know if you know this, Tim, but actually, this whole quarantine zone part of the game is the tutorial part of the game.
Yeah,
And
it is.
for a tutorial part of the game, it's very long, which some people don't like, but I personally like it because it backs up the game. It backs up. There's a lot of depth in this game in terms of combat, story, listen mode, all these different things,
Yeah.
crafting. Like this whole quarantine zone part of the game, all through Boston, is the tutorial part of the game. It doesn't even like really start until you get to Billstown, where you start
Which,
like the
yeah,
game
man,
actually
now, yeah.
starts.
That's a good point. I mean,
The tutorial part is long, and honestly, it doesn't feel like it's a tutorial part, but
it doesn't.
it is.
It just feels like you're slowly
It feels like you're
learning
playing the
world.
game, but that whole area is meant to teach you the game. It's the tutorial area,
Mhm.
which means it was probably made after the rest of the game. So
Now, one of the parts coming up, I know it so well that when Tess drops a plank to cross, if you get up there in time, you don't hear the plank drop because they figure you're not going to be able to get up there in time, which is kind of feels like a bug in their design.
there's a lot of little things in the game, but it's still a video game. And that's
Yeah.
one thing I find annoying that some people do. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about some
Sure.
other idiots I know.
Sure.
They will literally purposely try to find something that makes it unrealistic. I'm like, guys, it's still a video game. I was just saying, for a video game, it's pretty
There
realistic.
are video game-like things in this game, sure.
It's a video game.
One
You
of
need
the
to
deaths I
understand
had,
that.
I got like a glitch screen where I was on like a green screen, like blue.
Oh yeah,
background
oh yeah.
type thing.
There's, oh yeah. On rare occasions, you'll find certain glitches, and in certain areas, but you will never learn how to activate these things.
No, it was totally coincidental. I was like,
It's just always a coincidence. Sometimes they repeat dialogue a million times. Um, this isn't. It isn't as bad as the in the PS4 version.
Yeah.
It's mainly the PS3 version. It does this the most.
You have some weird character movements where they're stuck trying to walk in the same place, But yeah, overall, it's very glitch-free, except for the few occasions it happens.
Yeah, you're not honestly on your first playthrough. You're not going to be like this is a glitch game. But when you played it like 20 times, like me, you'll find tons of glitches because you're going to be going through certain areas multiple times, like me. So you'll find tons. But anyways, like we should probably move on to the whole Robert part. Basically,
yeah. So we catch up to Robert in the loading dock.
They teach you the stealth gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they teach you, like I said, tutorial area of the game. They teach you the stealth gameplay. You catch up with Robert. He starts running. You chase him down. You ask him where the guns are. That he sold them.
Oh yeah.
And what I love here is Joel. It just shows how badass Joel is. Joel just naturally kicks him in the face to get him to talk.
Yep.
Before
and
he
breaks his
even
arm.
denies.
Yeah.
Yep. And then he talks. And then they're just like, okay, well, let's go
Robert's
get him.
like, let's go after the Fireflies. There's not that many of them left. They're dying off. It's like, that's a really stupid idea.
And she shoots him twice in the face.
Yeah.
I don't know why twice.
Bullets
but
are
okay.
expensive. I mean, I wouldn't shoot twice.
Apparently, ammo in cinematics don't count. So.
Yeah, and the part where you're hanging upside down by the rope, you can just shoot as many times as you want.
Well, Ellie does. Well, they do give you tons of revolver
it doesn't
ammo before
account.
that.
Well, that scene doesn't account against your ammo.
And Ellie does hand you more, so it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah. But, after you shoot Robert, you encounter Marlene, right?
Yep, the leader of the Fireflies, and she just says, I need you to smuggle something out of the city, and I'll give you your guns back. So basically this starts out with them doing a job.
Now, one thing... I mean, this happens in movies all the time, but... By the middle of the game, or the end of the game, wherever you want to look at, the guns you're trying to get at this beginning of the game, you totally forget about them, and it becomes an irrelevant plot point that you don't go back and try to get what you earned by... You know what I'm saying? Like...
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Like,
you don't get the double guns that Tess saw and swears she saw. You don't get any of that.
Oh yeah. Your reasoning for doing this changes. Like, it's character development, that kind of stuff. So obviously you follow Marlene to where she's hiding because the Fireflies. Which when you play the game,
she's already
notice,
hurt by this point, right? She's already.
Yeah, she got shot. There's no reference who shot her or anything. Like,
probably
she just got shot at the time. Probably military. They're killing off the military's trying to kill off all the Fireflies.
And you find a wanted poster of this person.
Yeah. So Marlene is really wanted. That's why she's hiding. It's one of the artifacts. So, like I said, so basically, what ends up happening is, okay, we need to leave because we're gonna go extinct. The Fireflies.
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to smuggle this girl named Ellie out.
Yeah, 14-year-old girl. Yeah.
You like Joel or Tess, they don't think anything of it. They just think, okay, she's just a family member or something.
Yeah, because
get her out of here because
she's
not
Marlene.
safe.
As a child, yeah.
Yeah, they don't say why, and as Tess is going to go look at the guns, you get to for the first time with Joel, you get to experience Joel and Ellie talking to each other for the first time, and then she's like, "I'm not supposed to tell you why you're smuggling me," and then Joel's like, "What are you, 12?" Like, I'm actually 14.
Actually,
but
not that it matters.
Yeah, so love how we know the dialogue.
Right, I've only played it once all the way through, and then I'm at Billstown in the graveyard for my second playthrough.
Oh, and New Game Plus. That's another thing that's great. Is New Game Plus is great. You can keep all your gun upgrades.
The Shiv upgrade is the most useful.
Your melee upgrades, like your abilities. Like, we'll get more into that, the gameplay part of it later.
Can you do New Game Plus, like if you still have stuff to...
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
I believe you can.
Okay.
I've never done New Game Plus though.
So I want to make sure I get all the upgrades.
Oh, that should be my next goal, New Game Plus.
See if it lets you do it. But yeah, so as you're, going through this with Ellie, when did you get back up with Tess? When did she re-enter the game?
Well, Very shortly, you just walk a little bit to where they're hiding. Um, where the west tunnel, they say, I think. I don't remember exactly, but
Hmm.
and then they take off. Oh yeah, I saw the merchandise. It's huge. Obviously, this is where the game starts to pick up. First off, there's an artifact of test lists on the desk in the room.
Yeah, there's a
It,
wonderful
it gives more
sleeping
details. Like
scene.
I said, the artifacts. If you find any artifacts, read these, and
Hmm.
you will never find all these in the first playthrough unless you give up like a million hours.
Or
But read
unless
these.
you are stupid and use a guide on your first playthrough, which would ruin your experience.
Oh yeah, yeah. Don't do that. Do not do that. If you're
Do
gonna
that on your
100%
second
the game,
playthrough,
do it on your second playthrough
which I'm doing now. I'm using the guide for the second playthrough.
it's just don't ruin your first playthrough with trying to
It is
platinum the game.
baffling to me, though, Dan, that there's no way in the world anybody is going to find the Firefly pendants on the first playthrough without a guide, even.
Oh
There's
yeah,
no way you're gonna know to
some of them
shoot.
are in the some of them are in the trees.
What the heck? Who's going to look into the trees without a guide? That is, it's mind blowing. Dan. Like I know to look elsewhere, but you're looking in trees, you're looking in street lights. Like,
Oh yeah,
it's ridiculous.
it's a very hard platinum because not only do you have to get every comic book, every artifact, every Firefly pendant, find every optional conversation, which is a pain in the ass alone,
That's gonna be a hard
and
one for me to get.
because you can just look them up, but sometimes they don't want to activate. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You got to beat every single difficulty mode. I'm talking just for the platinum trophy, so you do not have to beat grounded mode. That's a DLC
I
mode.
just want to be able to, get all the collectibles. That seems like my first step.
Yeah,
We'll see
yeah.
if
That's
I do the other
that's
difficulty
as of right
levels.
now. That's what I did. I played hard. Normal, easy, hard plus, normal plus.
Now,
easy
does
plus.
hard
On
go
PS4?
down? Does hard
So
triculate down to medium and stuff like that as far as counting as completion?
what do you mean?
You get a trophy for beating in normal. You get a trophy for beating in easy.
If you beat it on normal, you'll get the normal and easy trophy.
Okay, so trickles down. Cool.
Yes.
No, I've only played it
Tim
easy.
played on Tim
'Cause
played
that's
on
the
easy.
best one because the hard is stupid. I mean, you gotta
No,
be a lunatic.
you don't know how easy it is for me to play it on hard. I'm just like playing on hard. I'm like, this is easy as hell.
I'm getting better.
Like I got
though.
so many supplies. I mean, like these guys are so easy. I'm just like sitting here like, not everyone is me though, Tim.
Do the enemies get smarter on hard? Like, will they?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Currently, I can strangle somebody and they don't see it, even though it looks like they should be able to see it.
If it's a infected, they're just stupid.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what difficulty you're on. You see, I know the programming of each enemy in the game. I'm that obsessed, so I know what to do.
Okay.
But even sometimes it's unpredictable what they do. I still learn certain things that they do. It's crazy.
Yeah, but so we've come up with Tess at this point, right?
Yes, yeah. So Tess is back,
And this is
and
military parts, right?
you finally sneak out of the quarantine zone, and you're in Boston.
We're
You're
in the-
actually in Boston now, and you see that it's basically destroyed. Why is Boston destroyed? Well, if you find artifacts, you'll find a certain artifact. It will tell you that they bombed Boston. They killed the infected.
So before we get to that part, we're in this military outskirts of this area that just drove me crazy insane, and I was getting pretty furious in my first playthrough. This is the moment where I had to go down the easy because I was just so angry with this stupid game not letting me proceed because these stupid guys with assault rifles were getting me. But the second playthrough was a lot easier, I gotta say.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, it's just crazy to think what is going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Like basically, so you first thing happens is you sneak out. You wait for the coast to clear. You come up. You go through this truck, and you get flanked by two military officers. They're scanning you to see if you're infected. They're calling it in, saying we found a couple stragglers who are trying to escape. And as they're scanning Ellie,
Yeah.
which Ellie is an interesting character.
is.
Obviously, you can't really tell from the spoiler cast, but when you play the game, which we've already warned you, you shouldn't be watching this if you haven't played the game. But that's your fault if you're
This
still
was
watching.
a predictable moment, though, that Ellie was infected in my mind.
Well, yeah. A lot of people predicted that because of why is this girl so important? So basically, she pulls out a knife, stabs the dude in the
Yeah, way to
leg,
go,
and
Ellie.
all of a sudden, they point. Basically, what ends up happening is then the other one points a gun at her. Joel like tackles the guy,
Yeah, I love
and
that
then
scene.
and then and then like Tess pulls out her gun, shoots the girl in the head, there's a girl and a guy in the military. Trying to explain this properly.
Sure.
And then they shoot him in the head, and they said, "What the hell?" And then they check the scanner, and they say, "Why the hell are we
Now,
smuggling
one
an
thing I love
infected
is that the
girl?"
first thing you see of Ellie is her hand with a knife when you enter the room back when you first meet her, and then now this nice comes back for this scene. I think that's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, the knife is like her signature thing. She always has that knife,
Yeah,
which is
but
actually
yeah,
very
she is
useful in the
infected,
parts
and
where you're playing as her. You don't
yeah.
have to crash shivs because you got her
Mhm.
knife
Oh, I didn't even realize that. That's cool.
with the part you're playing as her. But the only problem with that is it's
She's
not really the
weak.
same.
She's
Well,
weak.
yeah, you mean like you're playing as Joel and you're playing as her. You're playing as a little girl compared to Joel. You're gonna
You
have a
have to
hard time.
kick the crap out of someone to kill people as Ellie.
Yeah, it's crazy. Melee is not the option, especially in the warehouse scene where you're fighting all the infected with that David guy. Which
Yeah.
we'll get more into that.
We will.
Um,
But yeah, Joel and Tess are like, what the heck? We got set up and all this.
yeah, and then she's like, "I'm not infected." They show it. Actually, you're gonna laugh this, Tim, but I was a little shocked in my first playthrough.
You were. Now, in your first
Yeah,
playthrough,
most people were not. Most people were not.
your first playthrough, did anything in the game give you aggravation as far as difficulty in getting stumped as to how to proceed? Was there any moment in the game where it's like, screw this, I'm stuck? Can you remember that far back to 2013, a year ago?
The winter part was kind of hard for me on Survivor.
Okay. Yeah, winter can get difficult, you gotta say.
That was really hard for me on Survivor. Even hard, that was hard for me.
Yeah.
Which I was just bitching that I think hard is easy, but this is someone who's played half of Grounded, played Survivor twice, played on hard a few times to begin with, and played on normal a few times.
Are you,
So I've experienced everything. I even played easy because I was at a friend's house and he was playing on easy. So
easy is the best way to play.
well,
So
he didn't
hard.
realize he was playing on easy because
Nice.
basically he told me what happened was because and I believe him because it said that he beat like the first three chapters on hard. His friend came over and he was having a hard time, so he switched it to
You
easy.
probably switched it when I switched it to military zone.
Oh no, he switched it in like Billstown.
Oh, okay.
So you know,
But so have you not beaten Grounded then?
I've not beaten Grounded yet.
Is that on your
I-
to-do list at some point?
I made it through almost the end of Billstown on my PS3 version, but then Watch Dogs came out for PS4, so I took a break from it.
Yeah.
Which Grounded is a ridiculous mode. It basically makes the game so different. It's
'Cause
crazy.
you can't listen.
Oh yeah, you can't listen on Survivor, so I was used to that. But no heads-up display.
But
Can't-
you
You can't tell how much health you have.
You don't know how much ammo you have.
You don't know if you don't know how many shivs you have. You don't know like how your melee weapon's doing on damage. You don't know
Yeah.
anything. But you kind of know how much ammo you have because if you change your gun, you can see it then.
Gotcha. Okay.
But you can't see it on the screen at the time.
But
you
the
don't-
light
you
bar
can't
should
see
give
if
you
you need to
health.
reload.
Light bar will give you health.
Who knows? Maybe on Grounded it doesn't.
You should try and just.
I will. I gotta try Grounded on the PS4 version. I still have
Do you
a few
have any
playthroughs.
inclination to beat and play that game that way? Is it fun at that point for you?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah?
It's just it's a new challenge to me. I still love the game, and I'm trying to platinum the game. Which take in mind, this is a really hard platinum, guys. You got to pretty much give up your life for this platinum. So, because you gotta beat the game like 8 times. So, okay, that I exaggerated. You realistically on the PS4 version, you technically only have to beat it twice. Because everything is unlocked right away on the PS4 version. The PS3
So-
version, only up to normal's unlocked first, and
Oh,
then you
really?
unlock
Okay.
hard and survivor. Oh, no, up to hard, sorry. So you'd have to at least play it on hard. No, you gotta at least beat it on normal, and then normal or hard first, and then you gotta play on survivor. So you got to beat it 4 times the platinum, the PS3 version, because you got to do. Then you would have to do normal plus, then survivor plus after you
Sure.
did survivor normal. But on the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
PS4 version, you can do grounded, then grounded plus. I don't know why you would play grounded on your very first
That would be
playthrough.
stupid. That's why I did easy. I
At
want to experience
least,
the story and not get frustrated.
but I don't know. If you just want to play the game to play the game, I recommend playing it on normal.
Or easy. Could experience the story without
Tim,
frustration.
Tim, no, easy shouldn't even be allowed. In that
I've
game.
died on
Sorry.
easy many times, I gotta say.
I know, and I don't get it. I don't get it.
It's
I think
possible,
normal.
man. It's
I
possible.
I recommend normal for if you just want to play the game.
Because I want to experience the story without frustration, Dan.
Okay, Tim.
But let's progress. So Tess and Joel are kind of wary about the situation and not
Yep.
certain about Ellie.
Yeah, and she's explaining the infection, the bite marks on her arm, which you learn about in Left Behind.
Yeah.
Which
So I understand
that's not
that's
a
the
spoiler.
story of Riley and Ellie. That's all I know.
Yeah, there's a lot more to it, but that references the actual game itself, especially fall season.
Right, I imagine Riley gets
So-
bitten, and that's where Ellie gets bitten as well. That's probably
You learn more about it as you play it.
Yeah. Okay.
You need to play the game because it's referenced a lot.
yep.
So
Yeah,
like
we
I was
eventually
saying,
get to downtown, this crazy building that's kind of falling apart and slanted, and
and Joel and Tess were going to kill Ellie. They were going to kill her, but
They were.
the military was coming, so they didn't have the chance.
oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, they're saying, well, you better explain fast, and Tess had her gun. And he's like, this is 3 weeks old, and he's like, I don't believe you.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they were more focused on, oh shit, we need to run from the military,
Yeah.
and what if it's true?
So navigate through this downtown building, then they get into a museum, which is really cool. That museum, I gotta say, that's pretty cool stuff in there. Not even the artifacts, but just like you're in a museum, and this stuff's really old at this point.
Yeah, I mean, like you're near tons of things that were worth a lot of money in your day, but they're worth nothing now.
Yeah, there's a piano or something in there, I think. But yeah, there's cool stuff.
I don't think there's a piano,
Yeah,
but
harpsichord. I don't know.
so like I was saying, they're going ahead, and they finally get past the military, and they're questioning, is it true? And Tess is just like, let's just at least drop her off.
Mm-hmm. A Capitol
And then
building.
Joel doesn't want to do it because they just almost died from the military. But so they end up doing it. They end up still taking her to the Capitol building, which this is actually a very long area of the game, the Boston area. You get to see a lot of Boston, which
I
is
don't
which is
recognize
fine to
any
me.
of this. Do you recognize these parts of Boston? Like, does it look like any?
I asked my mom's ex-boyfriend about it, and he noticed some stuff like he said, "Oh, there's the highway sign. That's accurate."
Yeah,
They,
okay.
the descriptions of Boston are accurate. They've actually went to Boston. Actually,
Like, I wasn't
in the
sure
train
the buildings
station,
that
in
you
the
can,
train
like-
station,
Yeah.
they show the orange line and the green line,
Yeah.
which is awesome. They actually modeled it after the Boston train station, which I go
Huh.
to every year for PAX East.
Yeah.
So, and they actually have the map that's in. I don't know if you follow me on my Twitter at Naughty Dog for Life. I posted tons of screenshots with the photo mode and the
Yeah.
PS4 hashtag PS4 share thing.
Mm-hmm.
I posted tons of Last of Us remastered photos of certain things I thought were cool, and then I posted some funny stuff and just some wacky photos. But
Sure.
I show the map that's in the game. It's modeled after the actual map in Boston.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
I'd be
it's
curious
the
to see,
it's the
like,
actual
buildings.
map in the game.
Like, does
Actually,
that Capitol building look like the Capitol building in Boston? Is that the?
I would think so. It probably
Yeah,
is.
that's
I don't
cool.
know for sure.
I mean, I live right
But,
by Boston, like 90 minutes away, but I don't know this stuff.
Yeah, neither do I.
If it
I
was
just
LA,
assume.
I would be all over this stuff. I'd be such a geek over, like, oh, that's that building. And
Well, apparently there was a level that they scrapped that was in San Diego.
really? Okay, because I know they had
Yeah,
San
they
Francisco
scrapped.
concept
Yeah,
art.
they were. Yeah, they were going to have it. They were gonna do a San Diego level.
Because I gotta say, without cars, these guys do a great job of going from Boston to, like, all the way to Utah. Like, it's amazing.
Well, you gotta remember this takes like pretty much a year to do,
But
from
still,
walking.
I couldn't walk from here.
and
to
they
Utah.
did have transportation.
Yeah,
part of it.
they had some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it does this takes place over for a full year that they're together or traveling together, which is a lot of time to bond, which is what it's about. It's
Mm-hmm.
the Joel and Ellie's relationship, and not that kind of relationship, you weirdos. I'm talking about a
Father-daughter,
father-daughter
a
relationship.
pure and innocent one.
Yes,
Um,
just you remind me of my daughter kind of thing, and it makes Joel do some selfish things later on, which we'll get more into that. But
are they really selfish? We'll get it.
well,
We'll get into
See,
it.
this is the whole point of this spoiler cast. So we should probably try to get
Yeah.
up to there.
At the museum, you get separated from Ellie and Tess, and when you find them again, you see Tess struggling, and it's at that moment that she gets bitten, is my belief, and you don't realize it, right? Is that pretty accurate as far as?
Yeah, she gets bitten in the museum. I know
Yeah.
exactly what part too.
Yep.
For someone who's played the game a few times, I know exactly what part Tess gets bitten. I noticed
Isn't
all
it
the
where
little
you find
Easter
her
eggs.
again? Like when you come back?
Yeah, and she's hitting the guy in the face, and she's brutally mad at him. I think that's the infected who bit her.
Yeah, I agree. So we eventually make our way to the Capitol building and
Yep.
find these dead fireflies. We don't
And
know
then
who
Tess
killed
starts freaking out.
Yeah.
Starts freaking out.
them. Yep, she does.
And I
Because
just
you
want
could-
to
Yeah,
I just want to
because
make
she's
one
bitten and
note.
She knows, like, oh crap! I was hoping we could.
You get to travel through Boston, and 20 years later, where nature takes back society.
It's kind of
Boston looks like pretty much like a jungle. It's crazy. It's awesome.
Well, there's been like documentaries on like if New York City didn't have power for like 10 years, the subways would fill up and it would be like all naturist.
I would never go in it.
Well, that'd be scary because New York City with no
Well,
power.
after playing The Last of Us, I would think there's a bloater in it.
Well, all the people would get. Yeah, people are terrible people. I'll tell you.
Yeah, so basically, you get to the Capitol building, and these fireflies you're supposed to meet with are all dead from the military, obviously.
That's for the military. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, what ends up happening is, Tess starts freaking out, and you say, okay, we tried,
Is there a
let's go
map?
back.
Is there an indication where they were going? Yeah.
Yep, she's trying to find out, and Tess starts freaking out. He's like, well, we're done. He's like, well, this is my last stop. He's like, what are you talking about? And then Ellie's like, oh, she's infected. He's like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, show me it. And then she has this huge bite mark on her neck.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Brutal. I mean, like,
Yeah.
oh my god, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So, and then she's just saying, this is real. I was bitten a few hours ago, and it's already worse than this. This is real. That's
Now, I'm
that's what
surprised.
she says.
I'm surprised in this game there's no moment in the game where one of the people you're with gets a bite like right here, and you chop off their arm really quickly to save them. Like, I'm surprised that never happened.
Yeah, that's more a Walking Dead thing. The
Yeah.
game.
I never played that one.
But anyways,
But yeah, and there's military driving up, so time is at limited. And Tess says, go to Tommy's. He'll know what to do. He was with the Fireflies. And
yeah, you gotta find him. You gotta bring her to him. So
I basically want to die because I don't want to.
and this is where it starts because she's like, okay, Ellie, get a move on, and then he's all upset about it. And then you walk out the door, you run out, you hear her shooting, you hear her fight, stalling him,
You
and you hear her get shot.
Do you see her die?
You
On
don't
the
get to
balcony?
see her die. I tried watching her die.
Yeah.
I tried running up the stairs as fast as possible and seeing it. Nope. When you get to the top, you'll hear her scream and you'll see her.
Now, one thing I don't
can't
know
see
about
her
this
die.
section is, can you dawdle as long as you want that lobby and it won't progress until you move to the balcony? Or if you dawdle, will the military come in there and kill you?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'd assume they'd eventually catch up with you.
So there's some moments in the game, like, I don't know, like, will the story progress if I stay here? Or, when is the moment to run and when can you dawdle?
I never tested it. I always just go.
Yeah.
I should. I do know one time I shot down at the military and shot them in the head and stuff, and then the rest of them
from the
came
balcony?
after me. Yeah, and the rest of them were shooting at me, or they were coming after me through the stairs. So
Yeah,
I
that's what
I
it would.
think they'll eventually catch up. But after that I ran and grabbed
There
the
was
hunting
one
rifle.
moment in the game where this is in the school bus yard, and it's the moment where you're about to be overrun by infected, and I just stand there, and just pick them off. I killed like 50 of those guys, and then they eventually got me because they just keep
Yeah.
on coming. And
It's crazy. So then after this, Tess is dead. which is where the game really picks up.
Yeah. And we
This
get
is
to
probably
Billstown.
See, this is probably the longest part of explaining in the game, so I think things will smooth from here.
Yeah.
You sneak by.
Oh, we're already like an hour into it. Wow.
Oh yeah,
Wow,
yeah,
it's been
yeah.
talking a lot of this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We just. It's
It
because
feels like
we're
it's just
talking other
started,
stuff.
Dan.
Oh yeah, I know. It's just fun talking about The Last of Us. It's great. So basically, this is why we could never do this on Club PlayStation.
We're almost caught up to where I'm at my second playthrough. So.
Oh yeah, we sneaking by the infected. I mean, sorry, not the infected, the military. And
Sneaking by, I killed them.
oh yeah, you can kill them if you're Tim, but you
I went in
you
there
can stealth. You can stealth by them and just move on.
Well, I tried this on my first playthrough. I tried to stealth by them and run to the subway, and that did not work. I got shot down.
Oh, okay. I always sneak by them and just go in, and then when you're down there, you notice, this is where it really shows because Joel's like, "How are you breathing this stuff? The spores."
Now, the spores.
And she says, "I told you I wasn't lying."
Yeah.
And she's breathing in the spores, and you're going through the
That's where he starts
the
to believe,
subway.
right? I mean, he gotta believe by that.
huh?
He must. He must believe her by that point, then, right?
Oh yeah, he definitely believes her.
Now, one thing I hate about The Last of Us is the moments where we are in these cloudy areas, and I can't see diddly squat, and I just would love to. I hate the lack of vision in those parts of the game. It's like,
Oh yeah, especially
it's
the part
annoying.
in the hotel. It's super scary.
that is the worst. I'm not looking forward to revisiting
That is the
part.
scariest part of the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I will let you guys know if for some reason you're one of those people who decides to watch this, even though we warned you a million times not
We're
to. If
ruining
you
the
haven't
entire
played
game
it.
for you right now. Yeah.
This isn't a scary game. But this part is
It's
scary.
scary moments.
This is probably like the only scary moment in the game.
The hotel is just, oh my god.
Well,
I had a heart attack.
the basement of the hotel, not the hotel.
The
is
basement,
scary.
yeah, the basement of the hotel when the elevator falls. Whew, oh my gosh,
That part is scary. I mean,
in
like,
my first playthrough, Dan, as I told you, I played it with my apartment at like 80 to 90 degrees.
actually,
and I
we're
was
super
sweating.
close to this, and where we're explaining, we're super close to this. So let's just quickly get through the bills.
Yeah. So Billstown, you navigate through these different.
Yeah,
parts to
and
get to
the
Billstown.
reason why you're in Billstown is Bill owes you favors,
Yeah,
which
trying
they
to get
never
caught.
reference why, which would be good in the sequel.
They
I
never
think.
reference this, do they?
If they did a prequel or sequel and they referenced, why Bill owes Joel some favors, that would be really good.
Now, yeah, so we're trying to get a car from Bill.
Yep,
basically.
because Bill is extremist survivalist, so he has everything.
He's one of those
He was an associate of Joel and Tess when they were smugglers.
Yep. Yeah,
Which
he mentioned
you
earlier
learn-
in the game.
Yeah, he's mentioned all over the earlier part of the game,
Yeah.
so you get to meet Bill. He's even mentioned in Fall.
Hmm.
Bill's mentioned all throughout the game because Bill was like Joel's associate
And we
friend
assume
or
that
whatever.
he's alive, like, at the end of this game.
Oh yeah, he's like the only. I'm just gonna simply say this: out of all the partners you team up with, he is the only one who lives.
Inaccurate. Tommy.
Oh whatever. Okay, I forgot all about.
Tommy doesn't die.
Okay, I meant. Okay, yeah, you're right. Tommy doesn't die. Yeah, but okay. Besides Tommy,
Yeah, it's Tommy and
Bill is the only one who lives.
Yeah.
Bill has his own town and things go on. So basically, you get to go around Bill's town.
So
This is one of my favorite
yeah,
parts of the game.
Another gamey thing that is totally weird in this part is, so if you duck under Bill's trap, and then if you go back without warning Ellie, which I guess you only warn her once when you first go through that, if you go back, she'll just walk right through and not be harmed. It's great.
I never noticed that. I'm gonna have to test that out.
Yeah. So
There's tons of stuff about this game. Even
Yeah.
playing it millions of times, I haven't learned. As
So I love
much
the-
as
I
I
love the
hate
mu-
bloaters,
Yeah, I
they
love
they hint to you that bloaters exist in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, they hint you that bloaters exist in the game. When you first get your backpack, in the tutorial section, you get your first first gun. Open your backpack right away. There's 2 artifacts already in there. Read one of them, and they tell you the stages of infected, and this says B
Oh.
question mark question mark question mark.
Cool.
So it warns you that
I know
bloaters
Ellie's backpack
exist.
has some cool stuff. We'll
Because
get
at the
to
time,
in a
you
little
think
bit.
clickers are the last part of the infected, but clickers are not.
Oh, they're no big deal. They're clickers.
Oh yeah, at first though they're weird.
I
At first they're kind of iffy.
When you're not good with shivs, they're pretty awful to encounter.
Yeah.
When you have the shiv power up, it's pretty mandatory. But anyways, the music store, I love that. You know, there's a diner you're able to explore. There's like a arcade machine in there. And
Yeah, optional
there's
conversation.
there's a lot of cool stuff in this town.
Which is something from the comics in Left Behind DLC.
cool.
The
Cool.
Angel Knives. I actually have a
the
shirt
comics,
for it.
I wish they would print the actual comics you collect and be able to buy the complete set, because those comics are actually telling a story side by side with the Joel Ellie story.
Oh no, I'm talking about the legit Last of Us American Dreams comic series.
Oh, that's
Basically, I actually got this signed from some people at
Oh,
PAX
do you?
East. But this is actually a PAX East exclusive item. So this
Cool. Do you
is
have a
actually...
second for me? I mean,
No, I do not.
Okay.
Sorry, Tim. 30 years of Naughty Dog. Crazy, huh? But
yeah.
you know, this has all 4 comics in it. They were selling these at your local comic book stores originally, and then they brought this to PAX. I actually have the comics as well.
How much was that?
This was like $25. Yeah, $24.99. You could only buy this at PAX East.
2013?
2014.
Oh, this year.
Yep.
I missed out. I was there, man.
Oh, you didn't go? Did you go to the PlayStation booth?
They didn't have a booth, did they?
Yeah, PlayStation had a booth with people from Naughty Dog, Guerrilla Games, Media Molecule,
Really?
Sony XDev.
I guess I missed out.
Yeah, you missed out, man.
Man.
Everyone was there except for Insomniac, because Insomniac's
That's crazy.
Microsoft now.
That's true. But anything else from Bill's Town, just exploration you want to mention here?
You just get to learn Bill's character, and you actually learn a lot about Bill, and he's awesome. He's one of my favorites.
He's a cool character. He is a character. I love when Ellie meets her. She gets handcuffed and then she whacks him.
Oh yeah, he's super paranoid. It's funny. A lot of people don't catch on to this for some reason. It's made pretty obvious, but Bill is gay.
Yeah, it's just in the second playthrough as you're in his arsenal of weapons. He kind of stumbles on when he's explaining his partner. It's like this guy, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you don't catch it really the first time. Some people don't, at least, and the second time is like, yeah, he's gay.
Yeah, and then as you're so later, you get the car part, and by this point, you meet your first encounter of the bloater, which is a new
the
enemy.
gymnasium. Which, at
In
this
the
point,
gym.
you don't have a lot of weapons. Like, you don't have your flamethrower at this point, so the bloater is a little harder to handle.
Yeah, you just got a bow and arrow, a hunting rifle, you
No,
got
the
your
bow and
revolver, and your 9mm.
The bow and arrow, I don't use it that much. It seems kind of useless to me.
The bow and arrow is a perfect item, especially for certain areas like the college dorm rooms, the hotel basement. Not the hotel basement. You can't stealth that area. That's all guns blazing stuff.
Because
You love that.
the bow and arrow is great because it's a silent weapon. You won't get discovered when you use it. Is that why?
Yes. They can't hear you fire the bow and arrow. So if you shoot a clicker, if there's tons of clickers, you shoot one in the head.
Yeah.
Just to get by and sneak by the rest, and they won't notice because it's a silent item. But if you get a headshot and kill a clicker with a gun, they're all going to hear it.
Yeah, good point.
So the bow and arrow is a good stealth
interesting.
item.
So that has
It's
a use
perfect
then.
for the winter area with Ellie.
That's good to know.
The bow and arrow is a great item, Tim. It's one of the best
Okay,
ones.
I kind of overlooked it. As I did the nail bomb. I never used the nail bomb during this entire first playthrough. I didn't have a need for it. Or didn't know how to use it properly. I was, it's like, is this going to go off once I throw it? Is it going to go off only if someone walks over it? Like, how does the nail bomb work?
Yeah, the nail bomb is a pretty good item. There's actually this one part where the clickers in Billstown in the graveyard. There's 3 clickers. I throw a bottle in between all 3. They'll run near each other, and then you can throw a nail bomb or a Molotov, and they'll all burn.
Yeah, I love just burning Molotovs. That's such a great feeling.
Yeah, there's so many different items in this game, but like I was saying, so basically, you get through that whole first
You have to
bloater
get to
experience.
I love the bus parking lot. That's just fun to.
Yeah, you got to fight through infected through there. You run through the school. You find
the car battery.
you
is
find a
used.
truck that already has the battery, which is
Yeah.
what they were going after. Because his partner Frank took it, and then which you
what
find
happened
out
to Frank. What happened to good old Frank, Dan?
Frank hung himself because he
Yeah.
got bitten. So,
Oh, that's why Abe got bitten. That's right. Okay.
yep, Frank hung himself because he got bitten and he didn't
And
want
he
to turn.
wrote a lovely, nice note.
Yeah, he wrote a really lovely letter to Bill.
Yeah, so
It was
kind.
it was heartwarming.
I wish I
But
had that letter in front of me so I could read just how wonderful this is.
I'm sure it's online. But anyways, let's see. So basically, that's another interesting. You find a letter that's to Bill, and you will hand it to Bill, and Bill will act like he doesn't care, because he
Yeah.
loved Frank.
Well, here's the note real quickly. Well, Bill, I doubt you'd ever find this note because you were too scared to ever make it to this part of town. But if for some reason you did, I want you to know I hated your guts. I'm tired of this shitty town and your set in your ways attitude. I want more from life than this, and you could never get that. And that stupid battery you kept moaning about, I got it. But I guess you're right. Trying to leave this town will kill me. Still better than spend another day with you. Good luck, Frank. Yeah. Pretty great.
There's a lot of there's other references of other people. I actually think that Bill wasn't always a loner with Frank. I think Bill had a group of people he was surviving with.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah, because I think there's this guy named Bob. Remember the note to Bob in the town where the safe is? The
I think
first
so.
safe in the game? Well, later on, with an optional conversation in the bar, the small bar that, that whole scene happens in, there's a chessboard, and if you do the
Yep, I
optional
touched that. Yeah,
conversation,
there's some...
he says, "Hey, Bobby Fischer, don't touch
Yeah.
that board." So he's like going insane. I think he's going insane, personally, because there's
That
a
was
note to
nickname
Bob.
Or something.
I don't know. I don't know.
Note to Bob, Bobby Fischer. I got your...
I don't know. That's how I connected it personally after
Yeah.
a few playthroughs.
It's not bad.
But so I think Bill originally, when this all went down, was surviving with a few people.
Yeah. But, so we get the car started. It has to get pushed by both...
Yeah, because they found it because Frank took the battery that Bill knew of from the military that was on the other side of town, and Frank got it in the truck, and then they get it started, and you just infected come after you. Have to stop. You have to stop for a minute, fight them,
Yeah.
push the truck some more, fight them, push the truck some more. Then you run in it, and then Ellie drives off with you and Bill in the back.
Yeah. It's a good moment. I like that.
You know what's actually creepy about that? All those infected are just running around there with no one there. Someday those will all be bloaters.
Unless we bomb the area.
Someday all of those are going to be bloaters.
Well, do you think Last of Us 2, it'll just be all bloaters?
No! No! Screw that!
And we'll have a level above bloaters,
No!
But in that
I don't
game,
want
in
that.
that game, we'll just have unlimited flamethrower ammo, and we'll be able to get through them.
That seems so pointless.
Yeah, it does. It does. But
But
there's always going to be clickers and newly infected, because that's how infection spreads. But
oh yeah. It's just
and
it's
people
really
are
crazy.
still procreating in this world. I mean, Ellie's an example of that, right?
Oh well, obviously. I mean,
But there's no hospital to go to. They're kind of just,
natural.
Let's go to this. Lake over here.
Like I believe Ellie's mother Anna died from childbirth.
That's
Actually.
what it sounded like in the note in her bag a little bit. Well,
Yeah.
wait. Her note in the bag said she was alive for like 2 days after her birth.
Oh, okay. So something. She must have gotten like some infection or something. Not like the infected. Not
Right.
that. Just some other
Childbirth
infection.
infection or something maybe.
Something that who knows. I'm not an expert on.
Yeah, but yeah, if you look
infections,
in Ellie's backpack, there's a note from her mom. And it's
Oh yeah. When you play as Ellie, there's tons of great stuff in there. Tons of great stuff. You get the robot from Sam.
Mhm.
You got the picture of Joel's daughter and him. You got tons of stuff. Which
And that picture is in his house at the beginning of the game, and that's kind of cool.
oh yeah. I mean, like she ends up having it because Tommy went back to Texas to grab it
Yeah.
and some other stuff, and so it's crazy. So basically, now Bill's town is over, and
You go to Pittsburgh.
yep, and you're in your truck, and first thing that happens is
It's such
Ellie's
a
talking
wonderful
about.
scene. It's one of my favorite scenes.
Oh yeah,
This truck
you're
scene.
talking about stuff that Ellie stole from Bill's house.
Yeah, I got a little magazine.
Yeah, he
It's
stole
sticky
stole
pages.
yeah a gay magazine. So
Yeah.
that's another reference that's pretty obvious. Like she's like, how do you even walk around with
I
that
love
thing?
that. It's like, how do you walk around?
I'm just like, Oh my god.
Uh,
So and then she's like, "Why are all the pages all sticky?" And Joel's
right.
like, and she's like, "I'm just fucking with you." And she throws it out the window.
Yeah.
And then they have a CD
Audio
with some
cassette
classic,
cassette tape.
whatever.
Cassette tape.
Yeah, whatever.
It's
Yes,
even
cassette
older,
tape.
man.
Yeah, even older. They put it in, and then you hear some classic music. Then you hear the song "Alone and Forsaken."
I did not recognize this song.
Yeah, it's a very old song.
Oh, that's actually the chapter title of that, isn't it?
Yeah, "Alone and Forsaken," and this is a great scene because you get to Pittsburgh.
Well, it's such
And
a heartwarming cool down scene as well.
oh yeah, this
Connecting
is
with
like,
Ellie and Joel.
and this you get more of Joel's backstory here. Basically, Joel automatically knows what's going down. The guy's pretending he got shot. He's like, help me," and then
Yeah.
Joel's like, "Okay, put your seatbelt on, Ellie. I'm gonna help him. He ain't even hurt," and he just runs him over. He
Because
pulls out
Joel
his gun.
used to do that trick.
Yep, Joel used to be a hunter to survive. He used to be a hunter.
Crazy.
Yeah, I know. Joel's been on both sides, like he says.
Mm-hmm.
It's even referenced in Bill's Town where he says it's not even the infected who scare me. They're predictable. It's the people I'm worried about, and you of all people should understand that, Joel. And he's like, what is he talking about? He's like, nothing.
Yeah.
So Bill knows a lot about Joel.
But I love, they funnel him into this choke point with the bus, and wow, that's a good.
Oh yeah, they get him with a bus, and as basically the truck crashes into a convenience store, and the Alone and Forsaken music is still playing as they're taking you out. This is a very emotional scene.
Because they're going after Ellie. This is like the
yeah,
first
he's
one,
going
Ellie.
after Ellie. He's all pissed. The guy's like slamming Joel's face on the console and the thing in the middle of the truck, and then he pulls him out. He tries to bashes his head through a window, tries to slit his throat. You got to press square a million times to fight it. See, there's even.
Well, I will say something. It takes 3 pushes to open any door in The Last of Us.
Not any door.
Well, the doors where you have to push. It's always 3. It's never 4.
Oh yeah, so basically, and then you slit the guy's throat, and then the guy's punching Ellie in the face. You run over, kick him in the face, grab his head, slam his face on.
You got a crap ton of other people to fight off after that.
And then and then you're stealthing, and the Alone and Forsaken music is still playing, and you just got stealth. Tons of guys. Yeah, you can be. Yeah, you can be dumb and just decide to
I got killed a couple times.
shoot and hide, but you're supposed to stealth that area, get a wooden plank for a melee weapon, just take it as you want, use bottles, use bricks,
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of depth in the gameplay, but that's not really what we're talking about. But
Not right now.
not right now. But so it's crazy, and then this is actually a really hard part because you actually experience that hunters are really hard enemies in this game.
They are indeed. They can kill
they're pretty tough enemies to fight, which is another kind of
harder
survivor.
modes of this game, do you get more damage per hit?
Oh yeah.
You do. Okay.
In Grounded, you can pretty much die into 1 to 2 hits.
See, that's why I don't want to play this hard.
Then don't. You're not that dedicated. You're not me.
Oh, Dan, you didn't watch the documentary. I'm more dedicated than you. I must be.
Oh, shut up, Tim. until you beat Survivor twice, you're not more dedicated than me.
Okay.
But
Anyways.
let's see.
Yeah, this is the moment before the hotel. This is
Yep.
the hotel lobby is kind of the next scene. Is there anything else from this kind of attack that you want to mention?
Not really much. I just like how powerful that song is to the game.
I'm gonna have to pay more attention to it the next time I play it, or this time I play it.
Oh yeah, because you're not there yet in your second playthrough.
No,
the Alone
I'm not.
and Forsaken song that plays during the whole ambush, the cinematic and the stealth gameplay. It's really powerful, Tim.
Now, I have both
it's
of the
really
soundtracks,
powerful.
and the music just overall is great.
Oh yeah, the music is great.
It kind of tells you what's going on, when you can explore, when it's foreboding, and you need to be careful, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
So
it even tells you when you've been seen. The music, the audio will tell you that. It's pretty awesome.
yeah, so sorry, I got distracted by Aaron's tweet to me, the Club Nintendo guy.
Yep.
He sent me something. We'll talk about in Club PlayStation though. He says he
Okay.
wants us to talk about it, but
Is it Last of Us related, or is it something else?
it's PlayStation related.
Okay.
We'll talk about it in Club PlayStation
Cool.
this Saturday.
Yeah. But we get
It's
to the hotel, and this is before we get to the basement of the hotel. It's all good. It's a pretty cool part of the game. I just hate that basement. That part just freaks me out. Is there anything from the hotel that you want to mention before we get to the basement?
how awesome that area is just for the gameplay wise. It's also really important for Joel and Ellie's relationship. Obviously, everything in this game is important, so we're not gonna like discuss everything. But that hotel part,
Where Joel would have
scary.
died without Ellie. That's the part you're mentioning.
Yep. Yeah, the whole
Yeah.
thing where they got mad at each other.
hmm
That's a very
I gotta
that's
say, I hate Joel in certain parts. Like, are you really being that much of a douche and like saying, "Oh, you didn't save me," or "You can't have a gun," and like, I
yeah.
don't know. And
It's
he's very he disconnected from Ellie. Like he's trying to like put a wall between. It's like, really? You being like that? I want to punch you in the face, Joel.
pretty much. It was kind of a really it was kind of annoying, but after that Ellie was being very annoying after that. Kind of affected me too. I'm like, Ellie, stop being annoying. Like I was just annoyed
He
by
was
the
just
whole
playing
thing.
off Joel's being annoying.
Yeah, I mean, Joel was at first, and then Ellie took it too far, I feel.
Okay.
But overall, it was just a very interesting part, especially when they get separated when the elevator falls.
Yeah, I kind of like. I saw Ellie get up there. It's like, hear the noise. Like, oh crap! Elevator down the hill.
Yep. And this is where it's kind of crazy because, you already know what a bloater is, and you're afraid another one's going to show up.
I was just afraid anything would show up. Quite honestly, I don't want to deal with any of those things.
Well, if you're me, you're worried that when you're walking down the hallway, you just see you see like 100 rats running away from something.
Yeah, it's got to be something.
You automatically, if you're me, assume it's a bloater.
I just assume there were a bunch of clickers or something.
That's just me though. Like
Yeah.
that creeped me out so much. Oh my god. That whole area, I needed a break from that. It took me forever.
It was so
Like
intense.
and that area is ridiculous too because down there there's a generator, and
Yeah.
if you try activating the generator
Stuff comes out.
before crap, I'm trying to think properly. Before trying to open the door up top of the basement, you'll die automatically. A stalker will rip your throat out,
Oh, I
which
didn't
is
do that.
crazy. So you're gonna be like, "What the hell just happened?" And it's freaking creepy too. I'm like, I
Yeah.
just got killed from trying to turn on a
Well, it's
generator. What do
really
I do?
dark. You're
So I
swimming
mean,
and
like,
stuff.
you got to do a lot of exploring. That's why it's like to me the only scary part of the game. You don't know what to do.
Horrifying.
You don't know what to do. It's
And
creepy.
another thing is, what I was gonna say. I'm kind of happy you never get attacked while you're swimming. That never happens in the whole game, does it?
No,
Which I
like
thought
there
was
isn't some
obvious.
kind of like swimming infected thing.
Like
Oh
I
my
thought
god.
that would happen at some point, and I was always nervous for my whole playthrough.
Oh, me too. Me too. I was actually reading there was like 5 stages of infected online, and I thought there was something bigger than a bloater. I was like, oh my god. I
Yeah.
was like, what? And I was scared, but it ended up being they were talking about the stalkers, which is in between runners and clickers.
Okay.
They are pretty much clickers who can still see.
Hmm.
Yeah,
No good.
and they try to sneak up on you, and if they sneak up on you, they'll like rip your
Yeah,
throat up.
that's no good.
They're infected that try to stealth you.
That sounds horrifying. Glad I didn't encounter many of those.
Oh yeah, I've one's never successfully done it to me, but they can, and ooh, it's creepy.
Yeah.
It is creepy.
Well, just let a blower kill you once. That's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Let a bloater kill you once. You'll be horrified, and if you're me, you'll feel like you got raped.
Now, when you have gore turned off, does it just like, I don't know, no blood comes out and your head gets ripped off?
You can actually shut it off. Like
You can turn gore on or off, which I've never turned it off.
I've never shut it off either.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Then again, they don't actually show the bloater ripping his jaw off. You just hear it.
Your
You see a black
mind,
screen and you
your
hear it
mind
pop out.
envisions it.
You hear it pop out.
Yeah, it's horrifying.
Yeah,
Especially with
it's
the headset. It's like, holy crap! Something just bad happened.
oh yeah. I'm not looking forward to bloaters with
It's
a
so much more
headset. I
intense.
don't
So much
even
more
know what you
intense.
got me into, Tim. I don't know what
It's
you got
so
me into.
intense, man. So intense.
I'm gonna have to let a bloater kill me
So
for the
it's
first
weird that in
time
this
in
world
the PS4 version.
there's generators and there's electricity that can be turned on in some areas of the game. It's so weird.
Oh yeah, and then like the whole generator thing. My friend was telling me about this. He didn't know. He turned on the generator and he knew there was infected. He ran around the corner and saw a bloater. He freaked the fuck out. He didn't know there was a bloater.
There's
He
not a bloater down there, is
screamed
there?
and it killed him. Oh yeah, and down there when you turn on the generator, there's a bloater.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that.
Did you kill him or run?
I think I ran, probably. I had an option to run, right?
Yeah, but this is what you do first. This is how you do it. You go try to open the door. Then tons of stalkers show up. Kill them all.
Mm-hmm.
Walk around. Look for the key card.
Yep.
And then when you find the key card, go to the generator. Turn it on. Wait. Use listen mode and wait for the bloater about to enter the room, and then run left up that thing,
Yeah.
and then just run down the hallway. Open the door because that way the bloater can't get you.
Yeah.
You just run like a little bitch. That's what you do.
I like running.
That's what you
Some
you
of the
just
areas
run.
I just had to run, and I couldn't make it out
Yeah.
other way.
So
So,
it's
yeah, you eventually find Ellie again, and we have the whole giving Ellie a gun.
yeah. Basically, you run into some more hunters, and what ends up happening is Joel ends up almost dying from one of them, and Ellie saves his life. Ellie helps him instead of he helps her.
Is that what happens?
Yep, this is where it gets really intense, where Ellie starts becoming a better AI partner.
Okay.
At first, Ellie's
'Cause
not
I
really that good of an
really do
AI
anything with
partner.
her gun. Like, she just kind of.
Oh yeah, she starts becoming a way better AI partner because not only eventually Joel gives in and lets her have a gun. Basically, what ends up happening, she just starts being a better AI partner. She warns you
Something
about a guy
also
or something.
I noticed this playthrough is Ellie at the beginning of the game, kind of like, whoa, you did that to the guy when he kills things, and that goes away as it progresses, and she gets less weirded out by death.
Yeah, she just starts helping.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's crazy. I mean, so at this point, Joel.
Get a gun for her size.
Yeah, eventually, after they get in that whole argument we mentioned earlier about the whole gun thing, they move on. Ellie's still pissed off about it. They're moving on. They get out of the hotel, and oh voila, there's tons of hunters everywhere, and there's a rifle. And this is where Joel actually lets Ellie help with a gun for the first time. Okay, and she teaches her how to use a rifle,
Yeah, I
like
shot
a father.
I've shot rats with BBs.
I know he's the same concept, and it was awesome. Like he was like being a father, teaching her how to use a
Yeah.
gun. It was great,
It's like
and
riding a
he's
bike.
from Texas, so I mean
It's like
she has
learning
to.
her how to ride a bike.
Yeah, in Texas, so I mean like
Yeah. They shoot guns in Texas. Are you there, Mr. Dan? Please tell me your internet did not crap out on us. Come on. So it appears Dan's internet has crapped out on us. Let me... Where'd my phone go? There it is. Let me see if I can text Dan. Oh boy. So let me eject Dan and hopefully he'll come back. Where is Dan? Maybe finishing this a different day if Dan doesn't show up really quickly, because I'm not spending the rest of my night waiting for him to show back up. Okay, so I'm going to end this broadcast and start a part two. So join us at there, and I'll be back for part two shortly.